Hello and welcome to AZ104 Microsoft Azure Administrator Exam Question and Answer Series number 2. I hope that you like the series number 1 and I am sure that you will definitely like this series 2. So please note that there is a disclaimer for this video, and the disclaimer is this video does not contain actual exam questions and answers, and this video is for educational purpose only. The idea of this video is to gain knowledge to pass the exam successfully without brain dumps. So after watching this video, I am definitely sure that you will gain lot of knowledge to pass the exam AZ104 Microsoft Azure Administrator. So let's start today's video. So I will be talking about regarding the configure and manage virtual networking concept. This is one of the content of Microsoft AZ104 exam. And the first question would be, how do you set the VNet IP address to an existing VM? So the PowerShell command that I have given is that new PowerShell commandlet is set-az network interface. Legacy is set Azure static VNet IP commandlet, which actually sets the static virtual network VNet IP address information for a virtual machine object. So code snippet I have given, prerequisite VNet has been set up with subnet, then the commandlet, then the command goes on. I will definitely paste this commandlet and the code snippet in the description of this video. This is very useful commandlet that we have to use in our day-to-day cloud administration, Azure administration. The next question would be, how IP configurations are assigned to network interface. There are two types of IP configuration. Primary. Each network interface is assigned one primary IP configuration. A primary IP configuration has a private IPv4 address assigned to it. We cannot assign a private IPv6 address to a primary IP configuration. A primary IP configuration may also have a public IPv4 address assigned to it. We cannot assign a public IPv6 address to a primary IP configuration. So this is the primary IP configuration. Second is secondary. A network interface may have 0 or more secondary IP configurations assigned to it. A secondary IP configuration must have a private IPv4 or IPv6 address assigned to it. If the address is IPv6, the network interface can only have one secondary IP configuration. If the address is IPv4, the network interface may have multiple secondary IP configurations assigned to it. And secondary IP configuration may also have a public IPv4 or IPv6 address assigned to it. Assigning multiple IPv4 addresses to a network interface is helpful in scenarios such as, the first scenario would be hosting multiple websites or services with different IP addresses and TLS SSL certificates on a single server. The second scenario would be a virtual machine serving as a firewall or load balancer. So in these two scenarios, we can actually assign multiple IPv4 address to a network interface. How network security group works? We can use an Azure network security group to filter network traffic to and from Azure resources in an Azure virtual network. NSG contains security rules that allow or deny inbound and outbound network traffic to and from several types of Azure resources. For each rule, we can specify source and destination, port and protocol. We can deploy resources from several Azure services into an Azure virtual network. We can associate 0 or 1 NSG to each virtual network subnet and network interface in a virtual machine. The same NSG can be associated to many subnets and network interfaces. The next topic is restore files to Windows Server using Azure Recovery Services. So this topic actually is part of monitor and backup Azure resources. We can use Azure Backup Instant Restore feature to mount a writable recovery point snapshot as a recovery volume. After that, we can explode to the recovery volume and copy the files which needs to be copied to a local machine. If we store data in backup vaults, then it will be converted to recovery services vaults. If we want to use instant restore, we have to download MARS. MARS full form is Microsoft Azure Recovery Services. We can restore files to the same machine. We can restore files to alternate machines. The next question also is from Monitor and Backup Azure Resources. Question is, how do you restore a VM in Azure portal? There are 4 ways to restore a VM in Azure. First is, we can create a new VM. Second, we can restore the disk. Third, we can replace the existing VM. 4, cross-region restore. The step will be 1. Creating a new VM. We can quickly create a new VM from a restore point. The VM must be created in the same region. If the VM restore fails because unavailability of Azure VM's queue or because of any other issue, then the disk will be restored in the specified resource group. Who is Global Administrator? This question is from Manage Azure Identities and Governance. So global administrators can elevate their access to manage all Azure subscription and management groups. This allows global administrator to get full access to all Azure resources using the respective Azure AD tenant. The person who signs up for the Azure AD organization becomes a global administrator. There can be more than one global administrator at your company. Global administrators can reset the password for any user and all other administrators. As a best practice, Microsoft recommends that you assign the global administrator role to fewer than 5 people in your organization. To add or delete users, you must be a user administrator or global administrators. The next question is from Manage Azure Identities and Governance, and the question is, what is the role of network contributor? Network contributor lets us manage networks but not access to them. Network contributor role does not work at the load balancer level. They have to be at the resource group level, or every resource should be there in the pool. For example, virtual network, virtual machines, etc. The next question is AKS cluster Azure AD integration. What is AKS cluster Azure AD integration? Azure AD is a multi-tenant cloud-based directory and identity management service. With Azure AD integrated AKS clusters, you can grant users or group access to Kubernetes resources within a namespace or across the cluster. Azure AD authentication is provided to AKS clusters with OpenID Connect. OpenID Connect is an identity layer built on top of the OAuth 2.0 protocol. The next question is, how does Microsoft 365 group expiration policy work? Microsoft 365 Group Expiration Policy will clear the unused and inactive groups from the system and make things cleaner. Expiry is turned off by default. An administrator will have to enable the expiration policy and set the properties for it to take effect. Expiry is turned off by default. An administrator will have to enable the expiration policy and set the properties for it to take effect. When a group expires, all of its associated services, the mailbox, planner, SharePoint site, team, etc. are also deleted. When a group expires, it is soft deleted, which means it can be recovered for up to 30 days. The group lifetime is specified in days and can be set to 180, 365 or to a custom value that you specify. The custom value has to be at least 30 days. If the group does not have an owner, the expiration emails will go to the specified administrator. You can set the policy for all of your groups, only selected groups up to 500, or turn it off completely by selecting none. What is Access Review in Azure AD? With Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, we can easily ensure that users or guests have appropriate access. We can ask the users themselves or a decision maker to participate in an access review and recertify or attest to users' access. The reviewers can give their input on each user's need for continued access based on suggestions from Azure AD. When an access review is finished, you can then make changes and remove access from users who no longer need it. We need Azure AD Premium P2 license. The same rules required to create an access review for users are also required to create an access review for guests. We can review either a group in Azure AD that has one or more guests as members, and an application connected to Azure AD that has one or more guests users assigned to it. What is management group in Azure? If your company has many subscriptions, then your company should use management group to manage access, policies and compliance for those subscriptions. You can apply policies to a management group, and those policies would be applied to all management groups, subscription and resources under that management group. So you can see in the diagram that this is the root management group. Under this root management group, we have other management groups. Those are human resources, IT, marketing, and there is a subscription that you can directly connect it to the root management group. And we can see that under human resources, we can have further dev or test subscription and apps. Under apps is also a management groups. Under IT there is a production management groups, and under production we have two management groups. Those are Geo Region 1 and Geo Region 2. Again, subsequently we can see that under Geo Region 1 there are 2 subscription, under Geo Region 2 there are 3 subscription, and here also under marketing management groups we have 2 subscription. So the maximum number of depth that we can go from root management group is 6. Moving management group and subscription. This is also an important topic that we have to understand. Is for moving a management group or subscription to be a child of another management group, 3 rules need to be evaluated as true. Firstly, management group right and role assignment right permissions on the child subscription or management group. Secondly, the management group rights access to the target parent management group. Thirdly, management group right access to the existing parent management group. Azure Policy. Azure Policy is a service in Azure that you use to create, assign and manage policies. Governance is an important element in Azure because it ensures that everyone accessing the Azure environment is aware of organizational priorities and processes. It also helps to bring costs under control. Each policy can be built using multiple rules, and multiple policies can be applied to a subscription or resource group. Azure provides numerous built-in policies, and it is possible to create custom policies. Assign policy definitions for tag compliance. Important point. Tags applied to the resource group or subscription are not inherited by the resources. Azure Policy allows you to use either built-in or custom-defined policy definitions and assign them to either a specific resource group or across a whole Azure subscription. Moving resources to a new resource group or subscription. Both the source group and the target group are locked during the move operation. Write and delete operations are blocked on the resource groups until the move completes. This lock means that you can't add, update or delete resources in the resource groups. It doesn't mean that resources are frozen. For example, if you move an Azure SQL logical server, its databases and other dependent resources to a new resource group or subscription application that use the database experience no downtime. They can still read and write to the database. The lock can last for a maximum of 4 hours, but most moves complete in much less time. You can move a VM and its associated resources to a different subscription by using the Azure portal. You can now move an Azure Recovery Service ASR Vault to either a new resource group within the current subscription or a new subscription. Assigning administrator and non-administrator roles to users. A common way to assign Azure AD roles to a user is on the Assign Roles page for a user. So here you can see from the Assigned Roles blade, we can click on Add Assignments, and there we can see that there are directory rules, and we can add any rules from the directory rules section, and we can check the checkbox. For example, we can select the application administrator, which can create and manage all aspects of app registrations and enterprise apps, and you can click on Add. It will add the roles for the administrator or non-administrator. So this is the end of series 2. I hope that you will be getting little bit of knowledge of Azure AZ104 administrator exam question, and this video will definitely help you to pass the exam. If you like this video, please do subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.